Dynamic Brothers.
Hey guys, welcome back to Super Dynamic Bros. I'm Michael Sarabona.
I'm Isaiah Amaro.
Today we're going to be reviewing probably the most anticipated TV event of the year, Stranger Things Season 2. Or as they like to call it, Stranger Things 2. Because it's a sequel. Isaiah, give me your thoughts on Stranger Things 2.
As far as from the first season, it was really hard trying to either top it or try to match up to it. And I thought they did it perfectly. It wasn't a carbon copy where it's like, okay, we've seen this already with the first show, and it wasn't a complete 180 where it's like, why did you you had us like you did something completely different than the first one, why didn't you stick to it?
Mm-hmm.
This one, I believe, evolved the story, evolved the characters perfectly to a point where I want to see more of these characters. Like, I love the development of certain characters, how they changed from the first one a year passed later, and now we're seeing how they are now. Powers develop, character development. I thought it was great.
Honestly, I love the fact that this season, just like the first one, focused again on the characters. Yeah, this season was, bigger, bolder and stuff, kind of like what a sequel should be. But it didn't lose the fact that they have such great characters to work with. From the 4 kids to the chief, to the mom, to the teenagers, like, they have great characters, and everyone had like either a story arc or character moments that really build them up.
Correct.
There was nobody that was like left behind.
And the answer to a lot of questions that we had from the first one. Maybe not all the questions, but at least some of it. Like, oh, whatever happened to Barb? Why are you guys...
Yeah, finally justice for Barb. Even though I didn't really care about Barb, but
at least bring some closure for Barb.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did stuff like that, especially for fans of the first season, and fans for like different characters. Like, a lot more of the smaller characters from the first season had a lot bigger moments in this one, like Dustin, like Lucas. Yeah, they had bigger stories this time.
They changed them a lot too. They involved them. I liked with Lucas too. They gave him more. They gave him a love story. They gave him more something to do. Lucas, actually, I'm not Lucas. Oh, what was the other one?
Which one? Will?
No, the
Mike.
Justin. No, Dustin. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names.
Dustin's my favorite.
No, yeah, Dustin. Yeah. I love Dustin, even from the first one, Toothless. I felt like he was more brave in this one, and he had like more responsibilities and stuff too, taking care of a monster.
Yeah, they really they had like a Gremlins kind of story for him,
Yeah.
Him taking care of a monster, then everything just went on crazy from there. And I love the fact that in this season, it's not really spoiling it, but because we're not going to do any spoilers here, but there was a lot of like different characters teaming up with other characters.
Yeah,
like, I love the fact that who was it? Steve Harrington.
Yes.
And Dustin had a buddy cop kind of like romance thing.
Perfect chemistry.
Like, it was. Steve Harrington is honestly my favorite character of the entire series.
It was weird when the first season happened, where he was like the douche of this town.
Yeah, he was.
And then he became out of nowhere like the likable hero.
Oh, he's the hero.
He was definitely, hero. And even in this one too, it's like, wow, like I could see the chemistry between him and Dustin, the chemistry of him taking care of the kids.
Honestly, like Steve with all the kids, like, that was such a great, like, I would never thought about putting Steve with the kids, like, throughout most of the story.
Yeah, I like him better than Will's brother.
Jonathan?
Than Jonathan.
Yeah. John. I like the character Jonathan, but he's, out of everyone, he's not really the one that's really given much to do.
No.
Or much of like a
different. Even Nancy kind of did more, or Nancy kind of guided him to do more.
Yeah, Nancy was definitely the stronger one of the pair in this season. And what I also love the fact is, because in the first season, Will, who was a man who was like the kid missing in the first season, gone throughout the season, so you don't really get to like know him much. He's in it and more in this season, and he's given so much more to do.
Oh my god, his acting level in this one.
He was the biggest like complete 180 from the first season. That kid is such a good actor.
Oh, when I felt his emotions, his crying scenes, his pain, his suffering he was feeling.
Yeah, you feel it with him.
Actually surprised they trusted him or took the shot of him like doing all these emotion shots, giving him the emotional characteristic.
Yeah, because he, out of all the characters, he's the one that you didn't get to spend like hardly any time with in the first season. So they gave him so much more to do here. He's great.
He was actually
He
like
was
my
great.
favorite, one of my favorite characters in this one. Out of the 4 boys, like besides Dustin, he was like my second favorite one.
Yeah, and of course the police chief Jim Hopper, David Harbour, who's going to be our future Hellboy. He was, he's awesome. He's the badass cop you always want on your side.
But he had like a great father moment in this one where it's like you could really touch into him. It's like, okay, like I see what he's doing. I see the careness. He is taking care of someone.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil that.
And of course Winona Ryder is back as the mom. She's a lot stronger in this season than she was in the previous one. Because a lot of complaints people had in the first season was that she was very, just whiny and loud the entire time, which of course was understandable.
She lost her kid. I mean, anybody will.
So I never really understood why that was a complaint, but
I actually liked her in the first season. I thought,
I
especially the moments where she was trying to communicate with Will with the letters on the wall.
Yeah,
I thought that was really empowering.
That was smart.
Exactly.
But no,
throughout this whole season, she was like just like that.
Man, she's so much stronger and just like she's, just going out there. She's like, we're gonna stop this thing. We're gonna kill these things. Like she was badass.
I like her. How about the new characters? Let's talk about the new characters.
Let's talk about the new characters. Sean Astin's in the season.
I actually love him.
Bob,
he
I
was
love
awesome.
Bob.
Even when before it was just him as being Bob, I was like, wow, he's awesome and he's really caring, especially like to kids that are not even his. Like honestly, he wants to be the stepfather of this one.
Yeah, Bob is. I think Sean Astin can always play like the perfect like lovable, lovable smart guy.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, like he's just coming into the house like, hey, wow, you got Mr. Mom. Let's watch Mr. Mom. And he's just laughing at the jokes. Everybody's looking at him like
it upset me that none of the kids were excited about watching Mr. Mom. I'm always excited about watching Mr. Mom.
I think it's like a nostalgic thing. Remember, probably the movie just came out around that time.
Yeah, it's still a good movie, Isaiah.
Yeah,
Mr. Mom. It's a classic Michael Keaton comedy. But yeah, so you have Bob. You have a new girl that's joining the group. Her name is Max. And she's got another strong, good female character.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of really like push her to the side
a little bit
most of the season, but
because they never really want to tell her everything that was going on from the first season. So you kind of get that outcast type feel to it, and then has a brother into this one too. It's a stepbrother.
Yeah, he's played he's played by the guy who's in the latest Power Rangers movie.
Yeah,
played the Red Ranger. Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't tell by the by the mullet he had.
Yeah, he plays the stereotypical high school kind of like tough guy, bad boy bully.
You know what he reminded me of? Remember that movie 3 O'Clock High?
Yeah.
He reminded me of just like that.
Oh, the bully guy.
Yeah, the guy from Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like that. Bully. Classic 80s bully.
I kind of wish, because I felt like they really were building him up throughout, and nothing really happens with his character.
No, but you get a lot of like side story to the new character Max, and them dealing with shotgun effects, where you can see one getting abused and then taking it out on another person, and then that person taking it out on another person.
I really hope that those two are explored more in like the 3rd season.
What
the brother and sister? Yeah, yeah. Especially the brother. There's something there.
Well, yeah, you can say the same thing too. I hope it's like another Steve situation where he involves more, because when you can see like throughout the end of the season, like they do change. Everybody changes from what you think is a bad guy or a not so good character ends up being a good character.
Yeah,
in this one.
Yeah, and of course, 11 is in there. Is there? She is still, just the best. She has definitely, her character is really growing in this season. Compared to last season,
I get like a Carrie vibe to her when I was watching it. As far as her power developing and her emotion wise, I was like, wow, this is just like Carrie. But
except,
differently.
She's most likely not gonna end up as bad as Carrie did
she could if they ever do like a prom situation, and then someone just dumps pig blood on her.
Let's hope.
That'll be awesome. Get like John Travolta as like the new teacher. He just don't speak blood on it.
Just bring back any person that was famous in the 80s and just drop them in here. Why not? Paul Reisner was here from Aliens, and he plays another scientist in this one.
Yeah,
but he was actually really good.
He was a great character. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think actually speaking of Aliens, I remember before the show came out, they were saying how much the vibe of this second season would be kind of the vibe of like Aliens, and at one point, I was just like, "This is freaking Aliens."
Yeah, yeah, especially when it's like a whole shootout.
Yeah,
all the monsters coming out.
Yeah, I don't want to but this second season, like if you want to call the first season Alien, this second season is definitely Aliens. So if you know what that means, it's bigger, bolder. So many more things are going on. There's a lot more of a mystery behind the Upside Down and all the monsters and stuff that I really hope gets way, way more explained and in detail in the third season.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is probably this has to be one of the best shows on TV.
Definitely one of the best shows on Netflix.
Like, this show is great. It's got me so invested. I'm definitely coming back for season 3. I'm gonna give this a score of 9 out of 10. And it's not a perfect 10. Because there is kind of I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
there is one episode.
There is one episode that really kind of stops the momentum of the action of the show going on.
It feels like a filler. If you ever watch like a whole series of a show, there was like fillers here and there. This is one of those where it's kind of like a little bit pointless, but it does kind of add up at the end. It's entertaining to watch, no matter less. Like I wasn't.
It's a fine episode, but I think it's put in a place where
awkwardly.
It just stops the rest of the story. But you still have 8 other truly amazing episodes. So Isaiah, what score would you give this?
I will give it a good 9.5 out of 10. I really love the ending too. How it just ends it perfectly to a point where, even if there wasn't a season 3, I'll still be satisfied with the first 2 seasons. Yeah,
and I remember I said that about the first season. It's like this kind of ended perfectly. There did not need to be a season 2, but
it blew me away.
They gave us such a great story that I'm excited for season 3 now.
Yeah.
Well, you guys should not be watching this and should be binging on Stranger Things, then coming back and watching this. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today on Super Dynamic Pros. I'm Michael Sarabona.
And I'm always Isaiah Amaro.
All right, we're going to catch you guys next time.